Hello everyone, I am back. I know I've been gone for a while. Honestly, I was really focusing on my own practice. I had a lot going on in my personal life. 2023, I was doing all the readings but listening to none of them, and I'm sure you can guess how that was going, right? But enough about that. So as you guys are probably aware, just from the title of this video, this is going to be a pick a card on a situationship. This is going to be for the people who are currently talking to someone, are interested in someone, however, nothing's solidified, you're worried about their feelings. Potentially, maybe you guys aren't even truly talking yet. You're just trying to see if there's even any interest on their end. There are key words here, so please love me as I am. I'm trying. You're my queen, and I'm confused about what I want right now. My hope is that upon looking at these cards, upon hearing those key words, you're going to be able to, kind of be drawn to the deck that, or I shouldn't say deck, the pile that calls to you the most. Regardless, potentially maybe some of these keywords also are maybe reflective of the situationship you're currently in, how you either feel about them or how they make you feel. And if that is the case, it could be a nice sign to choose that pile just so that you have the most accurate experience. However, as in all things, we have free will. So truly, whichever pile that you are drawn to, I fully recommend you choose. So this is going to be pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. In the about section, I'll put links so that you guys can jump to those piles. My hope is moving forward, I should be posting once a week, pick a card readings. And just briefly on why I'd like to do that format is I think that these are incredibly helpful, at least for myself. I definitely consume a lot of this content. 2, I think this is nice practice for me. I've been reading for I shouldn't say an incredibly long time. That's so dumb. I'm not old enough to even say that. But I've been reading for a while. And while I have been reading for a while, consistency isn't always there. As I'm sure many of, tarot reading consumers can attest, generally when we're going to these sort of things, it's because we have something in our lives that makes us uncomfortable. And we want an answer to help ease that discomfort. And if I'm in a place where I don't want the answer because I already know in my head, what the answer is going to be, I don't read as often. If I'm not reading because I'm scared that the answer could be something that I don't want to hear, I won't read, right? So by reading for other people, I can still continue to keep up my practice and therefore keep up my skills, my knowledge base, my ability to interpret, all of that fun stuff, while also helping people. And then my next reason, and it's really simple, is just I like interacting with the tarot community. I like learning from other people. I like seeing what other people are doing. I like seeing their decks. Maybe I'm interested in the deck. And by producing this sort of content, I'm able to be a part of that. So anyway, this is going to be pile number 1. This is going to be pile number 2. This is going to be pile number 3. After about 2-3 seconds from this, it's going to jump, and I'm going to be showing you guys the different decks that I'll be using. And then from there, I'll do pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3's reading. Thank you guys so much for your time. If you see anything here that maybe you want to see different in the next videos, any recommendations, anything like that, I would be more than happy to receive any of that sort of, commentary. I think it'd be really helpful, actually. So again, pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Thank you for watching. And we're back. All right, so this portion is mostly for any other tarot readers who may be watching this for whatever reason. I sometimes just watch videos even if I'm not actually interested in the reading so much for my own life or something like that, but just because I'd like to see how the reader interprets cards, that sort of thing, or just because I like to see what cards they're using, maybe I'm interested in them. But for any of the other watchers who are just maybe curious, I'm just going to go over which decks I'm using, and then I'm also going to be explaining why I chose this deck for this specific reading. So based on the title, you guys can probably guess this is definitely romance tailored, right? So this deck specifically deals with romance. This is just going to be a really nice clarifier for romance for me. I'm probably going to pull one card from here. This is just a tarot deck that I felt was pretty and I think will do really nicely in a reading like this. So I figured why not use it? I feel like in a lot of these readings, tarot is kind of just like a no-brainer. So that's why that's there. Nostradamus Oracle is, from my experience, an incredibly direct deck. And when it comes to people's intentions, their feelings, what's going on, I feel like that can be really helpful just to be able to get really concise information to the querent. And then we have the original Arthur Rackham Oracle deck. This is just a really nice big deck and also has some really nice big situational keywords, which can be really helpful to decipher what could be a confusing situation. Probably use like one card from here, one card from here, and 3 from here. I forgot to mention the other ones. Oh, that's my girly girl. Sorry, that's my cat. She always like wonders who I'm talking to if I'm up by myself. And then this deck is specifically for intentions. So again, this is going to be what's going on in this situation. How are they feeling towards that person? So this deck will give some really direct information about that. And then the Woodland Wardens, and I'll probably draw 1 or 2 if I feel called, maybe more, depending if just depending on how polarizing the rest of the reading is. Might give some more understanding, because intentions can be very different than emotions, right? What we're actually going to do can be very different than what we feel, or what we're actually doing is making other people feel, if that makes sense. Then the Woodland Wardens is, again, just another like general, like, give me an idea and a whole picture of what the situation is and what's going on. Okay. Hello, everyone. So this is going to be pile number 1. So I just want to start this off by the impression I'm getting of this person. It's someone who is very internally nervous, but they reflect that by being very externally brash. Like, it's the person who gets incredibly anxious about something, and because they're so anxious about it, they feel like they have to go full ham, full force, like force their way through it. They'll try to come off as really fun-loving and really nonchalant, and they try to, they're like the person who's always drinking at the party, and they're saying it's because they just like to have a fun time, but it's because they can't enjoy themselves at the party without the drink. And everyone around them loves it because they'll make a fool of themselves in the end of it, just because. They're just so tanked and so invested in the idea that they don't give a shit. And that leads them to be in situations that are incredibly helpful for them. They have what I'm getting from here is that they're incredibly scared of being embarrassed. I think we all are, but I think this is something that from their end is almost a phobia. Regardless, what I'm getting here with the Ace of Pentacles and the Chariot is that they are interested in you. I just don't know if it's for the right reasons, and I'll explain a little bit more of that in a moment. We have patience here with like this waiting and determination. It's like, again, there's interest, right? But here we have satisfaction, and we have the beginning at the end, and folly and fun. What I've gathered is that they are waiting to see how you are going to react to some sort of secret being revealed with the moon in reverse. And I think that secret is their true intentions to being interested in you, their real reason for wanting to be interested in you. I feel like they would have told you things like, you make me feel so safe, you make me feel so secure, stuff like that. And in a lot of ways you do, but it's because of what they can gain from you. I don't know if it's because of what they can give to you, if that tracks at all. With the satisfaction here with the turtle and coriander, what I'm getting, and again, we have this really slow movement on both sides, but inside we have the Chariot, and then we have the Ace of Pentacles. And again, the Ace of Pentacles is very slow moving. The Chariot, though, is quick. But going back to the point with the satisfaction, it's not that I don't, like, here I don't see anything about true romance. I see something, it's almost like a business partnership in a sort of way. I don't know, maybe you work with this person or you've met them in I don't want to say a monetary environment. We're under capitalism, right? Of course it's going to be monetary, but your relation with them in some ways to do with their physical world. Earth represents finances, security, foundations, stuff like that. To me, it seems like they see you as a way of getting what they've wanted for a long time, a security of knowing that they're beyond reproach, a security of knowing that they can do what they want without people thinking that they're being embarrassing or like they're cringe, something like that. I don't see this person as someone who's ever going to come up to you and gush all over you outside of maybe a playful setting or when they're inebriated or something like that. To me, this is the type of person that wants to be pursued because that makes them feel like they are I don't want to say in control of the situation because that's not truly their goal. Ultimately, that's like the result, but it's not the goal for them. They just don't want to be caught off guard. They don't want to be embarrassed. With beginning at the end, to me, there may be an age difference as well, whether that be you being older or you being younger. But I see that having, somewhat of a substantial impact on this as well. And I think this is very specific, but in one circumstance, I'm actually seeing that an older gentleman is looking at a younger woman because he sees her as a way to reclaim youth and to be cool, really. I also see that if it's male and male, I'm also seeing that if you're the older person, potentially they see you as a way to gain financial stability, or whether maybe potentially it's a way to gain some sort of emotional stability. They see you kind of like as almost a parent figure, but that's not what you should be looking for in a relationship, right? That's why we have this baby with some very, very old people, because generally that's not the natural course of events. Usually it's young adults having children, not, the very, very old. Generally at that point, the very, very old just want to relax and, have their time without having to worry about other people like that. Though in some cases, that doesn't happen. With the Chariot here, I'm also seeing that when they have been, kind of straightforward in their way, and I really want to stress in their way of being interested in you, with I acted like I didn't care, but inside it was killing me. I think that what they think may be overt to you is just like, well, maybe they like me, maybe they don't. I can't really tell, you know what I mean? Because my assumption is, based on the fact that you're on this reading, the vast majority of you are actually interested in this person as well. And bright side, I can say that they are interested in you too. What I can't say is that they're interested in more than the superficial. And if you're very early on, in the situationship, potentially that's fair. I mean, no one, when we're just meeting someone for the first time, is like immediately aware of their quirks, their foibles, where they're great, where they're terrible, right? Initial attraction generally is superficial, whether it's a superficial act of kindness that you saw, because you don't actually know if the person's truly like that, right? Or if it's superficial in that you're just think that person's hot. Nothing's wrong with any of these things I'm saying. But generally, when we first meet someone, it's very superficial in our ability to understand who they are, what they're about, that sort of thing. That would make a lot of sense here too. Regardless, if you're wondering whether this person is going to move forward by themselves, I doubt it. I think the only way that would happen is if you find out some secret. Maybe if you were to approach them and say, hey, I can tell that you're really into me. They'd be like, oh my God, thank you. Yeah, I know. Or they try to play it off and you could just, continue to go on with that. But I don't think would be the best idea, considering we have the folly and fun. Because I could very easily see this person playing that out and trying to get as much from that as they can. Take that as you will. Because it creates a sort of power imbalance You know, when one party is not willing to admit their emotional investment in a relationship, and that can be really painful to the other party. That can be really hurtful to the other party. This is someone who wants to be chased. The way I'm seeing this horse is that even though the chariot is generally running towards something, I think they are running towards something, but I think that's in the opposite direction because they want to have their fun. They want to enjoy their time. They want to do what they want to do, and they want to feel, you know, loved and courted and stuff because they're so fucking, sorry, I cursed, because just so anxious. And to soothe their anxiety, to soothe their own perceived lack, they want you to be interested. They want other people to be interested. And they want you to be interested because they see you as someone who's worth having be interested in them, if that makes any sense. They feel that you are an opportunity for them. And again, if this is because this is just a beginning thing, I think that's fair. It's just something to be aware of. This person, I think, is probably very superficially charismatic and may just be generally charismatic. But the reason I want to say superficial is because at their core, I just really see a very anxious person. I truly feel that so much of their actions are to defend themselves from embarrassment. I just keep seeing that in my head. They'll move so slowly on things, even though in general life they seem very like erratic, and like that could have been really what got you interested in them just because they were so freaking cool to be around. But if you ever saw them in a stressful situation, you'd see that kind of crack in the veneer. I think for the vast majority of you, that's really the energy I'm getting. Let me know if this resonated for you, or if you have any, things that you think I should do maybe in the next video, or a topic you would like me to cover in the next video. I hope this was helpful and I hope it resonated for you. Hello, pile number 2. So this is going to be a reading on your person's intentions towards you. And I will be honest, you do have a lot going on here, or at least this person does anyway. So I want to start off with this. We have the King of Wands here and we have the Knight of Wands here. Generally speaking, you get one court card. And it makes a lot of sense when you're trying to read on someone's intentions. Their sort of personality type can give you a lot more of a perspective on what the other cards mean just based on these. And I don't think this is any different because we have I'm working on me right now, and hidden fears and insecurities are blocking our connection with the moon, with complication, unexpected development. So I'm reading this in 2 different branches, let's say. The first branch is that these both represent you, or sorry, them, or you even, I guess in this case, but really what I'm seeing is them. And they're currently at the Knight of Wands level, and they think to be a proper partner, they need to be in the King of Wands level. In this sort of situation, let's call it, I don't even know, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I don't even know if they're so much aware of the connection at all, or if this is just a way for them to try to work on themselves, if that makes any sense. Like they're reaching out to you could be part of some sort of goal of theirs to be more social or to put themselves out there, stuff like that. Especially when we have the protection thing here. I think a lot of this perceived on your guys' end, if this is happening like hot and cold, is because they're just protecting themselves. The other direction I'm seeing this is that these represent 2 different people. And the Knight of Wands potentially is another person that you have in your life that's potentially romantic. And the King of Wands is another person you have in your life that's potentially romantic. Regardless, or the other person perceives them as romantic, I should say. Regardless, this is something that in this situation is like lies being revealed. So I don't know if maybe... or this could also be flipped. They are the ones who have 2 people that they're looking at. This is a general reading, so I'm trying to look at all the different possibilities here. Regardless, there's some lies about this, and I don't think it's either of you 2 finding out or revealing this so much as like the third party coming in and kind of like saying what needs to be said, at least from their end. Generally, and I think this applies to everyone, we're dealing with someone who is steady and decent at controlling very turbulent emotions that they deal with often. I'm getting that from the resolute, implacable, and determined. I'm not getting that they're truly a calm person, but I'm getting that they come off that way. I'm getting a very warm energy from them. When I drew this lies and arriving thing, I don't know if whatever sort of secret, because again, we have the moon here, whatever secret is here, will be revealed at like a movie or popcorn being involved. I don't know why popcorn, I smelt it. So I'm just going to bring that up. When it comes to like what their intentions are towards you, what they're wanting to do, I don't really see anything here that tells me that they're going to by themselves move forward with the relationship in any honest way. With the lives and arriving thing, I think that they're going to either presented themselves as someone who's really got their shit together. They're like living their best life, and I'm just trying to explore and find a partner because they're an addition to my life. But in reality, they got a lot of hidden fears and insecurities they're dealing with under this, and you are taking the brunt of it because they make you feel like you're the one who's unbalanced. They make you feel like you're the one who just is obviously projecting and being problematic when you bring up how what they do makes you feel a certain type of way. I'm getting that a lot. This complication and unexpected development, again, that's why I'm getting like this third party, be that on your part or be that on their part. I just really feel like that is a potentially strong energy for about half of you. The other half, I think that the lies are just them lying to themselves and others about who they are, what they can do right now, and where they're at, while also saying that they're on a self-healing journey. To me, what I'm getting from this is like the YouTube spiritual guru who is preaching about, self-care and all that fun stuff, but has 5 different, side hustles and is, stressed out themselves. It's that sort of thing. No one's perfect, obviously. And I think the pretense that someone is, or that the fact that they're on a healing journey makes them in some way better or perfect, is kind of a fallacy in of itself. And I feel like this person may fall into that trap sometimes. I feel like this person may have even appealed to you because they had this sort of like warm, I can take care of you sort of energy. But I think that that's just a front. And I think it's a front because they themselves want to be that person. I don't think that is a lie. I don't think that what they're telling you isn't what they want to be. I just don't think it is who they are with the moon and the lies with arriving here. I see someone whose base instincts are to, take the bull by the horns and be crazy and, do what they want to do. But I see that at some point in their lives that got them into a lot of trouble. And now they're this more reserved person that you're seeing. But that is a crap ton of self-control. I don't think that's really anything to do with how their temperament naturally is. I think it's a protection mechanism that they have for themselves with the skunk and magnolia. I think it's kind of like with the skunk here, like their smoke screen. It's how they kind of like want the world to see them. What else do we have here? I think that as time moves forward, you're going to see more of this kind of persona, this person that they, created, kind of like fade away or wash away. Because I just don't think they're able to sustain it. And I think that they're probably retreating from you because some of these lies that they've been telling are catching up to them. And they don't want to be around to deal with it. They're working on themselves right now, right? But I think in some ways that's also an excuse if they've overtly told you that. Well, I'm just working on me right now. I told you I was healing. I think some of you have verbatim heard those words. And they're using that as almost like a shield to not take accountability for how they've acted in this situation. This sort of impression that they've given you, this idea that their intention towards you is to be resolute, implacable, and determined. At this point, based on this, I see that their goal is to shut you out, and they're very dead set on that. For a very small percentage of you, they're very dead set on getting you, and you're looking at this reading because you're like, this is too good to be true. Like, this person that they're presenting to me, you saw something in them, and you were just like, wait. let me get on YouTube. Let me look up a pick a card reading, or maybe it came up in your recommended because you know, spirit guides are telling you, hey, yeah, you need to look at this, you know? That's kind of what I'm getting. So, well, this is their intention. Literally every other part of this is, to me, a lot of their own self-interest, of being interested in themselves and the person they're projecting. Pile 1 had a similar sort of energy for their person, but this person is still caught up in their lies. They're still caught up in their healing process. Because I think a lot of their healing right now is lying to themselves and others about who they are and what they want to be, and trying to hold themselves to that standard when they dang well know that they're incapable of sustaining it. It's like that person who shows back up after they quit their job and is like, well, I just had a really bad moment. I'm just going through a lot right now and I'm working on me, you know? Like, I'll be better. And then they show up for another 2 weeks. And then again, they can't, you know, maintain that, and they don't show up. And a lot of times it's not that person's fault, right? They're probably just going through shit. It's just they refuse to be honest with themselves about how much that shit is affecting them and how much that shit has become diarrhea and is now spreading all over the place in explosive fashion. Because it's not just that this person is projecting a person that they're not wanting to be in their actions. There's active lies happening right now. Again, this could be on both ends. But for a lot of you, I truly think that this person is the Knight of Wands right now. They are brash. They are incapable of, you know, slowing down. They have all this energy and excitement, but they are trying to be the King of Wands, which is someone who no longer needs to act quickly on something. They have their own internal power and reservoir that they can draw upon, and acting quickly is not the same as acting forcefully. The Knight of Wands hasn't learned that. The King of Wands is a master of it. Your person hasn't learned it yet. They're lying to themselves. They're lying to everyone else. You're seeing the writing on the wall that this person, you know, when I met them, you know, they were just so calm and collected, and, you know, they just seemed to know what was going on. And then you saw them stub their toe and they went into a fit of cursing, you know, and you're like, huh, well, that's not this Zen person that I, you know, thought I was like in connection with, you know? So as it comes to the majority of you, I think that this person just randomly shut you out because you were seeing too much of who they were and they didn't like that. And then for others, I see that they are running after you in a kamikaze sort of fashion because you saw something you didn't like. And they're trying to use their healing process as a weapon to get you interested. Let me know if this resonated for you guys. But yeah, this is going to be pile number 2. Let me know if you guys have any ideas, thoughts, or opinions on what you feel I should be doing in the next video. Maybe something about this format that didn't work for you. Just let me know in the comments. Thank you. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'll notice, I didn't actually pull from Woodland Wardens for this one. I wasn't called to. I was more called to pull another from the Intentions deck, just because I think this one is going to be a little interesting in the reasoning, what's going on. So I do want to start with like the quote unquote like strictly love deck that we have here. And that's saying my life has never been the same since I met you. And I think just about everyone in pile 3 is aware of that. I feel like the reason that they're here isn't so much that they're not aware of the person's situation, but it's because that the situation is very tenuous and they're not entirely sure how this person is going to act. And I'm going to kind of explain a bit more about that. But I think it's pretty, apparent when we have the navigation card here. So the intention that we have of this person towards you is justice, fierce, commitment, and patience, waiting, and determination. So what I have gathered for the vast majority of the people here is that this relationship is in some way taboo and breaks up emotional ties. Whether that is because maybe you're in an LGBT relationship and you're in a situation where you coming out or being interested in each other would cause actual family issues for either yourself or that person, whether it's because you or this person is in a family situation, that has certain commitments attached. That could be a potential here as well. Or another potential is that you guys are friends and you're concerned about how your friendship will affect things. Regardless, what I'm seeing here is that poisonous optimism is at play. So I think a lot of people have probably heard the term toxic optimism or like toxic positivity. I think that's in play here. And I think that's partly because both of you are aware of how you feel. If you are not aware of how this person feels outside of the way their actions confuse you, I don't think this pile is for you. I think this is for people who already know how this person feels. I think this is for the pile that they're just like, well, how is this actually going to go then? Like, let me know. Give me the info. What's the tea? Because I'm done waiting, sweaty. Like, you know what I mean? The Nine of Cups here, like, this is a wish fulfilled. Like, this relationship, this is exactly what you want. This is exactly what you're hoping for. Your issue is that navigating this is freaking treacherous, and that is where this positive, like this negative positivity comes in, because I think someone in this situation is so blinded by what they see as the possibilities of this relationship, the potential of the relationship, that they're not seeing the whole other shit around it. They're not seeing how this relationship could potentially really rock the boat. Whether that's because, your relationship itself, like the type of relationship that you're hoping to be in is taboo, or whether that's because, this person is already connected to someone else, or you're already connected to someone else. What I'm seeing is that this person is committed to this. They're committed to you. I just don't know if they're committed to acting on you. I don't know if they're committed on doing things for this. I know that they're committed to fighting to have something happen, whether that's keeping you in your life in the friendship way, or some other thing, but their commitment to fight is to wait. They still need time. Their life has never been the same since they've met you. You have made the impact. It's not that there isn't some sort of connection here. It's not in your head based on this reading. If you are truly like worried about how this person feels for you, again, I don't feel like this is your pile. Maybe check out one or two. But for the people who, have had the conversation about, well, we do like each other, your person just needs time. For I think about 10% of you, either you or no, I think it was, I think probably you, or some outside situation. I don't think it was your person, just based on the waiting here. But for about 10% of you, whatever relationship that you guys are in or were in, or whatever situationship is going on, has been revealed, and it's caused some upset, and you guys are trying to navigate through the differences, and maybe this person isn't being as receptive to you, especially considering from your perspective, more than likely, you guys are like, well, it's finally out there. Why aren't we just doing the thing? Like, why can't we just do that? And it's because we have the 10 of Cups here. There's been some big upset. Some emotional ties, some deep-rooted emotional ties have been eviscerated, pulled up by the root. And that sort of trauma is difficult to get through, and even more difficult to get through when you yourself are trying to deal with a new relationship and give yourself over to someone else. I think from your perspective, you're just like, well, we'll have each other. We can get through this together. But this person is trying to lick their wounds and not hurt other people further. It's not that you aren't what they want. The Nine of Cups here, it's not that. It's that they don't want to be a dick about it. They don't want to mess over other people. And I understand that for you, that's very hard potentially to see, because you do have this positive outlook, right? You see what this could be, what could happen. You see all of this potential, all of this beauty, and from your perspective, this person is dragging their feet. They're taking too long. Why do we have to do that? Why do we have to wait? Like, I'm seeing a lot of you feeling like you have to drag this person, which is why you're here. But it's not because this person doesn't like you. It's just they are in a very, very turbulent situation, and they're trying to figure out the best way to navigate it. And I want to be very, very blunt with this. I want to be very, very fair to you as well. If you want someone who is able to move like that on you without this complication, because I think that would be an incredibly fair thing to want, to just have the easy knowledge that someone is there and like, you know, is interested and wants you. This person probably is in a state where they could do that. But with this Three of Cups, I feel like there's already been an emotional attachment. And I think that could be another reason you're here, is that you really do want that person, but you want your person to be that person. And I don't think that your person is able to do that right now. And I think that there's a potential that you may have tried to navigate away from this, but they keep on drawing you back in because they have not been the same since they met you. You have affected them so much. They just don't know what to do. Here, let's pull, yeah. Here we go. That's on the underside of this one. Oh, and then here, that's the next one that came up. So my defenses are up. Vulnerability scares me. I'm sorry for all the things I wanted to say, but didn't. I just really, really feel like this person is like in full on like break, pause, stop. And you're interpreting that as, well, do they even fucking care? Because we've been through so much and now you're trying to stop. Now you're trying not to move forward. And it's because they're scared. There's all this turbulence. They don't want to hurt everyone else. They're so sorry for the things that they feel like they can't tell you right now. It's not that they don't want to tell you. It's not that they're not interested. They just feel like they need to wait. For whatever reason, they just feel like they need to wait. Here, this is another one that came up that I feel like really spoke to me. Are you happier without me? They're scared you're going to move on. They know there's a possibility. They know that you are someone of incredible worth. It's not that they don't value you. For some of you, I feel that you are taking this as an insult, that they don't value you. It's not that they don't value you. They are vulnerable. They are scared. The apple cart is either going to be flipped over once this is revealed and you guys actually make something official, or has already been flipped over. And they're so freaking, their defenses are up. They're just like, give me a second, please. I have whiplash. I don't know. I'm just getting a very like hurried energy from like the queer end. And I'm getting a very like energy. I don't know if you could see that, like a, you know, like I'm being pulled along energy by the other person. And it's not because the other person isn't interested. It's not because the other person isn't, you know, wanting to be there. And I don't know if a lot of you are even aware that you're like pulling this person that way. Because I think a lot of you aren't like telling them, well, you need to leave them right now. Like, I don't think it's that. I don't think you're like, well, if you don't tell everyone that we're together or we're interested in each other, damn the consequences, I'm just going to freaking go. I don't think it's that. I think some of it could potentially be all these future plans that you're talking about, all these things that you want to have happen, all these things, all these dreams that you're telling this person that you want to have, which is incredibly freaking fair. That is not a bad thing. Please don't take it that way. But they're feeling like that's dragging them along because they feel like to be able to keep you happy, they have to keep on giving and giving and giving. What they're giving isn't for a normal person something that would be hard, you know, but for you, it's been incremental steps just to be able to get to where you're at right now. And I don't see that this person is going to be changing as of right now anytime soon. I think that they still need to process. They still need to go through what they are feeling. They need to, you know, kind of ground themselves and they'll be better able to move forward. Okay, so I hope this made sense for pile number 3. If this resonated, let me know in the comments, please. Like, that's incredibly helpful. If there's any other readings that you think you'd like me to do or any format changes you think that would be helpful for me, please let me know and I'll try to start incorporating them. Any sort of feedback is helpful. All right, thank you guys so much and thank you for watching this video. Bye.